Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Wednesday evening, it's chilly, it's wet, and here in the UK, farmers are starting to let people know that there could be a problem with food production this year. Seemingly, the last 18 months, the weather in the UK has been the worst for rainfall since records began back in the 1800s. And some farmers still have fields that are flooded, some have fields that are waterlogged. That is causing problems for growing. Oilseed rape is running behind. Wheat will be running behind and will be, I think it's going to go, they're looking at something like 10 million tonnes less wheat than they had last year. So anything wheat based with flour, etc., is it's increasing in price anyway, but it's probably going to continue to increase. Um, Seemingly due to the weather, the attrition rate in the lambs born at this time of the year, like being born round about now, because of the cold and wet, they're not surviving in their normal numbers, which means that here in the UK we will be looking to import more food over the next while, which again means more expensive. So now is definitely the time to start your own garden, get those seeds planted, um, get some relationships with local farmers, because there was an article from a growers cooperative locally that I read, and they said one of the huge problems is the way that the supermarkets do this just in time. They don't order things till they actually need it. They cancel orders if people aren't buying enough. Farmers are really, really struggling with this just in time sort of procedure. And so if they've got excess, maybe they'll take it to farmers markets. Maybe it'll be at the end of the road. Maybe there'll be an honesty box. Might be worth your while looking for that, because if prices continue to go up the way they're going, it might actually be worth your while searching out the farmer. Um, but yeah, this is seemingly going to be quite a big problem this year. So definitely looking at preserving, I think, would be a really good idea. If you're a baker, you probably want to be getting some mylar bags for flour just now before it starts getting more expensive. That's those silver bags that are heat sealed, and you can keep your flour for years in that with oxygen absorbers. Um, so you want to be looking at preservation just now, certainly of these items, like oils, rapeseed oil, because again, as I say, the rapeseed's not. I mean, as I've said before, we're in quite a rural area, and on my drive to work, I've got fields on both sides. Just that's my drive to work, and most of them are still ploughed. There's one that's got some bits of green, but most of them are still ploughed, and it's like April. I would have expected most of them to be, well, I'd expected all of them to be green by now. I'd be expecting Kathleen to start moaning about oilseed rape anytime soon, because it gives her hay fever. She has a bad reaction to the yellow flowers of oilseed rape. Um, so yeah, it's definitely, just even from me driving to work, those fields are muddy. They are waterlogged, and I mean that's it raining again tonight. But it's the highest rainfall level in 18 months since records began in the 1800s. So something is definitely happening, and making things more difficult for the methods that are employed today. I think possibly instead of big companies, it's probably going to be easier to utilize smaller methods. I know what I mean. I'm sorry, that just didn't make sense, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that's my thing for today. I'm a bit sort of like, not liking this. And normally, especially after with the the prices going up after the pandemic and shortages then, which weren't actually that big a deal because you could normally get stuff eventually. Um, but this is like a whole crop for the year from here. And we're normally quite a good wheat grower. Obviously, Ukraine was a good wheat grower. That's going to be less than the last few years. Um, so there might be a bigger deficit than we've noticed in the last couple of years. So just something to be careful about. Have a read, look at the National Farmers Union. They have a website. I'm quite sure they've got stuff on there. Um, but yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. And if you can, if you use flour a lot, you probably want to be stashing. Catch you later.